Welcome to an overview video for CFX Scan. In this video, we're going to go over the features of CFX Scan and how it can help users perform material handling tasks within a warehouse or in customer pickup environments. We'll also illustrate how we can customize these workflows to meet specific needs. We'll begin with the purchasing process. We'll start off in SAP Business One. We'll create a purchase order for a vendor for a particular item. Once added to the system, we'll show how it can be received inside of the CFX Scan application. Now that we've moved over to the Scan application, we'll log in. Choose Purchase Orders from the Warehouse Services menu. Pick the Open Receipt purchase order. Choose the item we're receiving. In this case, it's a batch managed item, so we'll enter a quantity, followed by a batch number. And in this workflow, an expiration date is also required, so we'll enter that as well. Once all of the information has been selected and confirmed, we'll confirm the receipt of this product. This will result in a goods receipt PO being created inside of SAP Business One, moving the inventory into stock. Next, we'll look at inventory transfers. Again, we'll start in SAP Business One, and we'll create an inventory transfer request for an item. An inventory transfer request is a material handling request that moves an item from one location in a warehouse to another location in a warehouse, or moves the stock between warehouses in different locations. Once added, we'll go back into Scan, click on the transfer, choose our from and to warehouse combination, which tells us where it's coming from and where it's going. Select the item, fill in any information required by it, add that to our confirmed transfer list, and then finally confirm the transfer. This will result in a transfer document being created in Business One, physically moving the item. Next, we'll look at production. In Business One again, we create a production order for an item based off of the bill of material template. Once added, we'll release the production order, which will put it into Scan. Again, from Warehouse Actions, we select Production Orders this time. Choose the work order that we were working on. This brings up a list of items that are consumed, so we have some idea of whether or not there's enough inventory to complete it. If there's not, we'll get a warning telling us that it can't be completed. If there's enough, it'll complete without error, and the work order will be done. We also support inventory counting transactions. On the screen, you see an inventory counting object being created inside of SAP Business One for a couple of different items. Within Scan, we use a blind counting mechanism by default. This can be modified, but what you'll see in Scan here in a second, under the inventory counting module, is the two items with no expected count. The user will simply walk over, count what's there, check the mark, and that will update the counting object in Business One. The final thing I want to show you is sales orders. First, we have a standard pick option within CFX Scan that allows us to go through an order one row at a time. We can either scan a barcode, we could select the item directly in the app. If it requires any additional information, such as bin selection, batches, or serial numbers as required by the backend ERP or by configuration of Scan itself, we would enter that here, finally resulting in confirming the pick, which will generate a delivery document, in this case in SAP Business One. I also wanted to show an alternate version of this, customer pickup. It works mostly the same, except there's one more step at the end after we do the confirmation that allows us to input a signature to show that the customer has approved that they picked up everything. Last, we will look at the returns processing module. Based off a return request in SAP Business One, if a return request is created, it will show up under the returns module inside of this custom workflow, where a user can pick the return, choose the items, determine whether or not they are damaged, and then post them into SAP.